As your child learns to speak, you've probably noticed that some letter sounds are harder for them to make than others. It might be tempting to sit down and try to teach your child all the sounds at once, but there are some sounds that are simply too advanced for young mouths to make. If you decide to work on sounds with your child, here are a few good reasons to avoid more difficult sounds. Your child's tongue might not be ready. Children typically learn the sound at an older age on their own. Sounds that are difficult to learn are also difficult to teach, and everyone will end up frustrated. Remember, your child should be having fun. In much the same way that you wouldn't want to teach a 6-month-old to walk, working on sounds that are too hard, too early is a recipe for disaster. Use this chart as a reference for when you should expect your child to start making certain sounds. Note that the S and Z sounds may still be lisped through age 6. In speech therapy, we've divided the basic English consonant sounds into 3 categories, based on how hard they are to teach. What we call green light sounds are sounds that you can show your child how to make. These are mostly sounds that are made with the lips. They're the easiest sounds for you to teach because your child can see what you're doing with your mouth and imitate you. Reference the green light chart for which sounds to start teaching and when. Do not start working on sounds unless your child is at least as old as the age in the left-hand column. Other sounds are made by placing the tongue in a specific place inside the mouth. It's much harder to show someone how to move their tongue than their lips. These are yellow light sounds. You can work on these too, but only after your child has already mastered the green light sounds for their age. Working on them with your child may be effective, but be aware that you might not be successful, and remember the number 1 rule: make sure everyone is having fun. To teach these sounds, you make the sound for your child and hope they can figure out how to move their tongue correctly on their own. The last category is red light sounds. These sounds are for older kids and are complicated to make in the mouth. We do not recommend working on these with your child at home. If your child still needs help with these sounds when they're older, let a speech therapist work with them. There's a lot of training that goes into learning to correct these sounds, and we don't want you or your child to get frustrated, or for them to develop bad habits in their pronunciation as they learn.